make a consistent income while building your DJ career. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, also known as Side Hustle and Spiegel, and I'm going to give you guys some ideas that help me build a consistent income while trying to grow this YouTube channel and trying to grow my DJ career, and I really hope you guys find value from this. Side hustle I'm going to talk about is ride sharing, so like Uber or Lyft, and this is great for learning how to read a crowd. So the most important thing as a DJ when you're at a gig is playing the right type of music for the right person. And you do this by judging their age and kind of trying to be able to look at some person and be able to tell what kind of music they would like. So when I do Uber and Lyft, and I get a request from someone and I see their picture, I try to pick out a playlist that I think they're gonna like, and then they get in the car and I play the songs, and then sometimes they love it, sometimes they don't. But this is the way that I have learned how to read a crowd, because it's impossible to practice reading a crowd when you're DJing at home because there's no crowd. And until you start getting bigger and bigger gigs, then you really don't have the opportunity. So with rideshare, you have the opportunity to make a little bit of money and discover and work on your crowd reading ability. Like last time I was doing rideshare, I picked up someone that kind of talked like my mom, they kind of acted like my mom, so I played music that my mom would like, and it worked out very well. Now, another one, if you don't feel comfortable having people in your car, then you could do food delivery. And now with the price of gas and everything, some people would say, oh, food delivery is not worth it. But you are the one that defines if something is worth it for you or not. So I go out and I do Uber Eats, and although maybe I only made overall with gas and everything, maybe it was like $10 an hour, but while I was driving, I was either listening to audiobooks, listening to DJ tutorials, or just building my DJ playlist. Because as a DJ, we should be adding to our playlist every day. And so we can get the opportunity to drive around, explore our city, and discover all this new music and listen to all these DJ tutorials. All the stuff I learned about DJing was from when I was driving around listening to DJ tutorials. So you could make about $500-$600 a week if you leave your house like lunchtime, work lunch and dinner, and then come home, and then you don't have the stresses of a boss and this and that filling up your mind. Because when I first moved to Florida, I decided to get back into the HVAC, heating and air conditioning, because that's what I went to school for after high school, and I hated it. I wasn't allowed on my phone. I had to learn all this stuff about compressors and all this stuff that I wasn't interested in. And one day the person that was training me, it was like a Monday, and then he's like, did you study over the weekend or did you work on your YouTube channel? And I was like, I worked on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to go. To me, it didn't make sense to study and learn all this stuff to do a job that I didn't really want to do. I would rather study and learn DJing and this stuff because I believe that it's a great career too. So another thing that you could combine with the delivery apps is what I call gig apps. So let me just bring it up over here. So let me show you the apps that I use. The number one is Easy Shift. So this one, there's not that much here in Florida, but when I was in New York, there was a lot. So this pays $25 to take some pictures of displays in a liquor store, and their new ones drop all the time, so you could just refresh and find a full route. And I have made over $100 in a day by doing these, and it also works perfect with when you're doing food delivery, because if the food delivery ends up in a town like 10-15 minutes over, you could be right there ready to do one of these gigs. Now, it may not seem like a lot of money, but through my lifetime use of this app, I have made over $14,000, which sounds like a lot, but it was over a couple of years. So what I do is I will plan out a route. So I'll look on this one. This is Easy Shift, and I'll pick out the gigs, and then you could reserve them for 24 hours. And the next app that I use second most is Field Agent. So with Field Agent, you could go over here to the map, and then you could see all of these pins, and then the different apps you could reserve for a different amount of time. So this one, with this specific app, you could reserve for usually for 4 hours. So I would recommend downloading Easy Shift, downloading Field Agent. Also, Gigwalk is the same type of thing. It's just there's not that many gigs in my city, but when I lived on Long Island, there was plenty. So the whole point is having multiple apps. So if one app's not doing good, you could do the other one. So the apps I would recommend for these gig apps are Easy Shift, Gigwalk, Field Agent, and then this one's called Observer. It's similar and it has paid out. It's just a newer app and there's not much more. So I would add that, and then there's some other ones like Pickle and Be My Eyes, but it's basically the same thing. You don't need to have a license. They don't do background check. You just download the app and you complete these gigs one at a time. So when I first started, it felt like it wasn't worth it because I would be in the store for like an hour to make $5. But just like with making YouTube videos and just like any other thing, once you have the system down and you become productive at it, you will be able to make more per hour. So at this point, I could do a $5, like at Publix, it'll be $5 gig, go take some pictures of the beer displays, blah, blah, blah. And I've got it down to a science where I could go in there, in and out in 5 minutes. So making $5 doesn't sound that exciting, but when you make $5 in 5 minutes, then that equals $60 an hour, which is much more than I would get at any other job. So definitely would recommend doing these gigs. Another thing that I recommend is selling on marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace and Mercari. So if we go over here, so on my Mercari, if we look at my last sales, so I sold these shelves, $27. So all you have to do is either order stuff from Alibaba or AliExpress, or however you want to get this merchandise, and then you could just find something that you could sell for a little bit more than you bought it for, maybe make a $10, $12 profit on each item, and then post this stuff onto these marketplaces every single day. And I, during when the pandemic first started, there was some months where it was thousands of dollars in profit, and now it kind of went back down to a couple hundred, but it's definitely a very easy way that anyone can get started in doing an online business. I hope this helped you guys think of some ideas to either make a couple of extra dollars to get some new DJ equipment, or to leave your regular 9 to 5 and pursue your music career full time. I really hope that you guys found some value in this video, and let me know in the comments if you tried any of these side hustles, if you know about any of these apps, and or other stuff that you recommend that us DJs can do in between gigs. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos about DJing every day.